Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys all look so great. I'm so stoked. We're going to do this Halloween thing. Let us know if you're here. It is Tuesday. We come at you live every single Tuesday. We are Sea Goddess Healing Arts, and we love to do these Tuesday lives so you can get to know us and a little bit of our energies and flavors and magical gifts that we offer. It's just a nice time to hold some space and spend some time with us. So we're so glad that you're here. Let us know if you're here. Let us know if you want a card too, because we've got a lot of cool opportunities for trick-or-treating with cards. And I'm going to ask all the ladies how they're doing. Ursula, love your whole get up right now and your sparkles. What's going on? How are you?
It is Halloween. It is my dad's birthday and my one nephew's birthday. So we've got some super Scorpios in the family to celebrate today. So shout out to them. And we're just having fun with it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sorry, I'm just sharing into the abyss there.
Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, Angelina, glad you're here. We will put you on the card list. Faux show. Lexi, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely fabulous. I'm in my glory with my first little trick-or-treater. I've got my little cousin here and hanging out, little Sydney. And this is my favorite time of year, when this veil is thin. So it's just been magical. So I'm so excited that we get to all come together and do this today and be here, across the grid.
Meow.
Me too. I'm grateful. I love it. Meow.
How about you?
Meow. Yes. Hello, Jess. How art thou today?
I'm good. I'm kittying. I dug out some ears. Yeah. My default kitty. I didn't really plan a big costume this year, although I am known for doing that. I did not this year. But I feel good being a kitty anyway.
You're one cute kitty, and I'm glad you had it in your back pocket.
Yeah, always ready to turn into a cat.
So it is Halloween, and we wanted to talk about that for a couple minutes as people are hopping on. And I was going to ask Lexi to start our conversation because it's a very old, beautiful tradition, and there's many, many ways to celebrate it. So we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about that. And if you want to add in any comments, go for it. And Angelina, you are on our list. And if anybody else wants to be on our list, just drop a comment. Let us know. Go ahead, Lex.
Yeah, I'm so excited because one of the many themes across all the different, traditions is the celebration of cycles in life. And after. And so it's amazing to see that through all the different civilizations, how they've kind of celebrated this time of year with that connection to remembering and the show of gratitude for those that have walked before us and that are now walking with us on the other side. And so the completion of the cycle too, as we enter into, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, the next phase of the seasons where things start to die off and go into the winter hibernation to go within. So it's that cycle, and it totally relates right to tarot, right? The story of the tarot, the cycle that tarot teaches you that cycles through life. So that death for that rebirth. So this time is so magical, and with the thin veils and the eclipse season just bringing in the even more potency, right? Even more magical portals to open up. This is one of the most gorgeous times to connect with your higher self, your ancestors, your guides, and really either course correct, realign, honor, show gratitude, call in gratitude for this past year, for what we want to come and for what's to come. So it is a magical time of year to just be sitting with the seasons, sitting with yourself, allowing for that connection to come through of our loved ones. So it's absolutely perfect to be having Tarot Tuesday today, because what better way to allow and show gratitude and honor our ancestors with giving the opportunity to allow for their messages to come through and to hear them. So this is a beautiful time to, eat eat food from the ground, food that we harvested over the summer, to honor and remember to, leave an offering of gratitude for our loved ones and our ancestors. Really trust your gut on what you feel called to and your intuition to, make this season magical with your actions and making room for those messages to come through.
Thank you, Lexi. That's so beautiful. You speaking about all of it made my heart warm.
Oh,
And reminded me of a cool tradition I got to learn called a dumb dinner. Have you guys ever done that?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for those of you who are tuning in, it's an opportunity that many cultures and religions celebrate. And it's an opportunity to celebrate your ancestors. And you take all of this beautiful food and make an amazing dinner. And then you sit down and light candles and you set a place for your ancestor that you're missing next to you. And you offer them food and energy and you sit there in silence and you eat and you allow the ancestors to be nourished and blessed and come in and connect with you. And it's really, really beautiful. So that's an incredible tradition you can do too. And you reminded me of that. I forgot about that one.
It's such a beautiful time to, create that space in your home to honor them, whether it be an altar, leave a meal out. The dumb dinner is a great way, one of my favorite ways, one of the things I'm teaching my kids. So to make the meal with love and intention. I always love to make family recipes this time of year. There's certain things that, we've been making a meal for kind of each ancestor each night leading up to Halloween, and we'll continue for this week to honor each of them and, invite them in and hold space for them and celebrate them. Because they're there for us. They're there wanting to connect with us and wanting to still, support us from the other side. So it's a really beautiful way to keep the memory and, keep their own traditions, keep this tradition alive. So, and it's been practiced for so many different civilizations. We got to keep it up, right?
We do. We do. Welcome, Danielle. Welcome, Honora. We're so glad you're here. Angelina, we're glad you're here. We've got Angelina on the list first, and then we have Honora. Danielle, if you want to shoot us, want us to pull you a card, let us know. And then, I have this interesting comment I'm trying to get rid of, but it's not letting me at the moment. So I'll figure it out. But maybe we could get our party started. Before we get our party started, though, I'm going to ask Ursula and Jesse to share about Dragon Class. And we're going to mention it again a little later, too. So who wants to talk about it, Urs or Jess?
Go ahead, Jess.
Go ahead, Jess. Hey,
Let's
Kelly.
So November 7th at 7 p.m. We'll be doing a Meet Your Dragon and Harness Its Power workshop, 7 to 8:30. Yeah, okay. Yep, that's what we decided. I like the sevens of that too. 11, 7, 7. So because during eclipse season is when they come around the most strongly, although I have to say they're always here, but they're basically everywhere all the time during eclipse season. And especially if you become conscious of them during that time, you'll really just be like, what? Weird. I've had many of those moments. So we're running that class because 'tis the season. And I also actually, Ursula, what do you think about this? I had this idea that, like, I know the whole thinning of the veil thing and the ancestor thing and all that, but what about if the veil is always thin? Like, is the veil always thin and maybe we have access because of other things going on? Or maybe just more people that don't think they have access become interested in certain things, and so then they do have access. Do you know what I'm saying?
That is a very interesting thought.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not fully formed. But
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I had some thoughts. Again, not fully formed, obviously. So, but yeah, it's a very powerful, magical time, regardless, because it's all swirling around together, you know, regardless. So, whether it's
Yep.
people's belief systems making things more accessible, or the cosmos themselves, or the dragons, or I think it's probably all of it. But the dragons are certainly here, and we want to talk about it because we both have had extremely profound experiences with the Dragon Collective, um, and it's time to share it on a bigger scale because we talk about it all the time. You and I
Yep.
talk about it with you too.
Yeah. So we'll be teaching how to connect with your dragon and how to connect with the dragon realm. And Jess, do you want to say something about your personal dragon orgone pieces?
Sure. So coinciding with the class, I part of no, my story is very much to do with the dragons came in for me a few years ago when I had reached a point of needing help and finally asking, basically, is what it comes down to. And I still struggle with that, but I always forget, like, really all you have to do is ask whoever it is, whatever spirit realm, whoever. But so I had put out a call to anonymous, like, just like, help. Anyone who really like loves me and has my best interest in mind, can you come on down and help? And so it turned out that it was the dragons that came for me, and they came through a gift of a dragon mold that I'm an organite maker, and I got a mold of a dragon for my birthday, and I just felt really pulled to create one right away. And so I did, and that was the very first that was the beginning of my work with the dragons. They completely like enveloped everything in my life, and I, as soon as I made one, somebody wanted it, and it happened a few separate times, like immediate. So I did some meditation with whatever energy had come through because I was still confused and didn't even realize what I had done. And so it became clear that I would be channeling people's personal dragons into a physical form through my artwork. It's more than artwork too, because they're physical devices that block EMF and radiation and harmonize energy in a room or a space. But they would come through in that way. So they would be showing themselves to their not owner, but I don't have I don't have quite the right words, but they would be manifesting in a physical form that people could have and see, and the stones all come through unless someone has something that they already have in mind that they want. I can, do it intuitively, and it's always super interesting to see what comes because me as Jess has no clue really. But the dragons know and they come. And so I was instructed not to do this, not to make them and put them in my shop, but to the people that were ready would come to me. And so I only make them at certain times of the year now. When I first started working with the dragons, I was doing it all the time, and it was so intense that like I stopped for a while because I hadn't learned how to harness. So that's part of what we're going to teach as well, because like they're super powerful and pretty no nonsense, although loving, but very no nonsense. So unless you're ready, you're not ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that I think that's why also they were like, the people that are ready will come, because you can't really just throw this on someone who isn't. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I opened it for October and November. For now, I might keep it open. I don't know, but it feels right for this period of time. And so we're teaching the dragons at the same time, because if you happen to meet your dragon and then you want one, it's going on at the same time. That's all. Blah, 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 blah.
I can't wait for the class because I've never had any interactions with dragons until just recently. I had one of very surreal, like dreams where I felt like it felt so real, like going down this path and felt what felt like a dragon. So I feel like I've been having the breadcrumbs, and then you guys put the class out, and I'm like, this is exactly what I need right now. So I cannot wait to dive into this more. I could feel the scales. I could feel it was just, and it wasn't like, it was, you know how normally you feel something weird and you like pull back. This was like safe, like curious, like like the first of the introduction, it was so cool. So I can't wait.
That's how it is too. It's like it's kind of like awe inspiring, their hugeness of energy or whatever, but I always feel enveloped in a big hug type energy as well, at the same time as it being a little bit like, whoa, it's cool for Ursh because she already knows her dragon and has a name and everything, and so I'm brought him through, and it turns out I was getting really confused because I felt like it wasn't done, but it was clearly pretty much done, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on, and I think it turns out that he has met a friend. So Pembroke's got a lady that I'm working on bringing through too, so they'll be both be flying back.
I'm so excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I know what I must sound like, but I couldn't. It wasn't done, but it was done. So I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it there, and this is how they do. Like, and I just have to kind of figure it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. I woke up one day, I'm like, oh, that could be it. That could be it. And then I was like, remember I messaged you? I'm like, is this even possible? And you're like, yep. I'm like, okay, let's go for it then.
Yep.
Yeah. So super cool. Super cool.
So get your dragons, get your custom dragon, your Orgone dragon from Jess, and join harnessing your dragon. I almost said harvesting. Harnessing your dragon class on November 7th. And what time is it going to be?
7 Eastern.
7
There's a
Eastern
link in
time.
the today's episode for the class.
Awesome. Cool.
Yep.
So we're going to get rocking and rolling on our readings. And I have a nice little reading list going. Welcome to everyone. We're so glad you're here. Hi, Kelly, Audra, Heather, Danielle, Jackie, Honora, Kelly. We're stoked you're here. So our first reading is going to be Angelina, then Honora, then Amanda, Kelly, then Audra. And if I forgot anyone or anyone else would like a reading, let us know. And thanks, Carolina, for stopping by. We're going to have to let you go because we do not accept solicitations here. And for those of you who are tuning in, we use this as a learning opportunity to let you know that if you want a reading, please go ask the person you want it from. Most all professionals, readers do not go after people like that and say, send me a reading right now. You need a message. So just know that as a learning opportunity. And Carolina, thanks for stopping by. So our first one is Angelina. Would you like to go, Ursula? Maybe we'll go Ursula, Lexi, Jessie, Mandy. How's that sound?
Sure. And while I'm
All right.
pulling Jess and Lexi, do you want to share your little special for today as far as your card pulls?
Oh, we got card 2. Card 2.
Love it.
Today you're treating cards for cards.
Yeah.
All right, Angelina. So today I picked my Dragons Oracle deck, of course, because, because, yeah. And my Sacred Rebels deck. So I'm going to use these two combined for everyone that I pull for today. And the Sacred Rebels is still kind of coming. Okay, Angelina. Your dragon card is the white gold dragon from Lyra. Connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your causal chakra. Bathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. And I think this dragon came out to play last live that I was here for too, not last week, but the one before. So this is an extremely high vibrational, high dimensional dragon. And it's, I think, an important reminder to connect with your higher self. And if you are working on development of your intuitive senses, particularly the ones of the top, like the crown and above, this is a nice message that you can call on these dragons for assistance with that at this time. And then the Sacred Rebels deck card that I pulled is relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And it's card number 26. So this one, I don't think I've ever pulled before for anybody. And that is super beautiful. And I actually did a card pull earlier today, and the dragon that came out for that person was the black dragon, which cocoons you. So I feel like this card is kind of related to that one, where we're in this time of the year, like we just talked about at the beginning of the show, with the veil being thin, and it's the transition period of seasons, and in the Northern Hemisphere, things are dying off, and we're coming upon the winter season where it's like hibernation mode. So if you're feeling called to steep a little bit more in that vibration, I think this is an important message for that as well. Just remember to rest, take care of yourself, and cocoon yourself in that beautiful healing light. This card has a lot of green on it too, so heart chakra also healing. So I think those two messages are beautiful for you, Angelina.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ursula.
Mhm.
Our next reading is going to be Lexi for Honora. Lexi and her sweet little cousin baby Sid.
Look what we got out of the candy bowl. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. I really feel like sometimes there's outside pressures, maybe making you second guess what you really feels good to you, what you're really working towards, what you really want. Hold that vision of the life you want to create and what you're trying to call in for yourself, because ultimately that's how you're going to attract it and call it in and step into that timeline. This is one of the most powerful portals for becoming aware of what timeline we're choosing to walk down, what path we're choosing to take. It is the perfect time for course correction, for realignment, for reflection on what paths you've gone, and to really think about what path you want to take and make sure you are holding the vision that is truest to you while you walk down this path and make these choices in this time. And your other card you got is the dance portal. Let it go. So I feel like you need to dance your way down this path. Put on some good music. It's so funny. I need to share this with the group. There was a great witchy vibe playlist that I was just vibing to all morning on Spotify. And I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is nice. Yeah. So dance portal, let it go. Dance your way through all these portals in this eclipse season. And movement is sacred. Move those hips. That stagnant energy of those traumas and dramas that we've gone through in our life gets stored. Our issues get stored within our tissues. So movement is the best way to wake it up and push it through and purge. Right now, a lot of people, myself included, have gotten sick, and we got to remember sometimes when we get sick, that's our body purging traumas, dramas, toxins, negative attachments, energies, negative emotions we've had stored. So let it go. Let go of the heaviness, the weight, those things that you've been holding on to that you do not need to hold on to anymore. What is in the past, let it be in the past, and really dance your way into your future and release those weights, release those chains, release any of those lingering kind of like parasites that are sucking your energy. Cut those ties and release yourself free, and hold that vision of living that true, honest blue life for yourself. So let it go. Let it go. Dance your way through these portals, because you're truly a goddess, And you've got this. You have got this. You've got the power right now to set up your future to be just the way you want it, just the way it needs to be for you. And you are deserving of a amazing, amazing future, a life full of balance, happiness, bliss, abundance, health, and wealth. So visualize it, hold that vision, and dance to it. I hope that resonates.
Oh, that was beautiful. That one was for Nora, and Kara commented and said, "Our issues get stored within our tissues." I love that. It's true. Deep in the cellular level, it is there. And that's why it's so important to pair mind, body, soul, spirit healing, because it's all connected. So I did want to mention our next reading is going to be Jessie for Amanda. And before we get started on that, I did want to mention it's Tuesday. So I'm going to be over at the Sage Lady shop tonight. It's inside the Zen Landing Wellness Studio. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's just amazing and dreamy. And there's so many different amazing wellness and healing services such as yoga, massage, aromatherapy, intuitive healing arts, sound therapy, all kinds of things. And then the Sage Lady shop is just such a magical little witchy store with all your spiritual needs. You got your sage and your incense and your candles and all kinds of cards and books and tools and things to support you. Gifts. It's already holiday season. Here we go. So many different gifts. And I'm going to be there tonight doing $20 mini readings and handing out candy and having fun. So if you're looking for a little something fun to do, a little adult Halloween action, come on and see me. I'll be over there from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight celebrating Halloween. And Ursula is going to be there this Thursday, right, Urs?
Yep, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 45-minute natal chart readings. 45-minute natal chart readings. If you already had your natal chart done, we can focus on whatever you want. And my time slots are 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12, and 1.
Beautiful. And you can totally book with us online ahead of time, like it says here at sageladyshops.com/events, and walk-ins are welcome too. And tonight it's going to be a fun party, so come on and visit. All right. So, and as always, we do have a virtual tip jar that one of our beautiful clients suggested we put up there, and we put it towards all of our Sea Goddess bills. So if you're feeling the love, we will certainly accept it, but it's never required. This is our gift to you to get to know all of us. So we are working our way on down the list, and let's see. Happy Day of the Dead, Cassandra. Love it. So next up is going to be a reading with Jessie for Amanda. Glad you're here, Amanda.
Right. Right, dipping into card soup. Okay, so the first one came from my Avalon deck. We have the Spider. Number 15. If you want to take a look at what 15 means, I feel like it might have a significance to you, even though I don't personally, I'm not a numerologist, but sometimes I'm drawn to the number more often than not. So I'm going to mention number 15. We have the Spider, which represents creative projects. So I'm feeling like as the sun leaves us, basically, and we spend time, I'm getting a feeling of like hunkering down in a nice cozy space, and we don't really want to go outside anyway, so it's a perfect time to bring to life the creative ideas that you already have. It feels like you already have ideas that are being woven, pun intended, inside of you. So I'm going to draw a card. I'm drawn to my Saints and Angels deck, which usually represents an ancestor coming through, which I'm not surprised because of what day it is. Okay, so we have Archangel Michael, confidence. So I'm feeling like, and look at all that purple. Oh, jeez. That's pretty, jeez. Sorry. I'm feeling like that's super powerful. Like I'm just like feeling that inside of my own self. So, so I feel like confidence and maybe belief in yourself is the only thing that's holding you back from anything that you desire or would enjoy. So if it's really about feeling like you're good enough to do the thing, and also nobody even has to see, you know, being creative could be a hobby. It doesn't have to be brought out into the public world, but it can really be a good outlet when we might not have the regular outlets, as in like going outside, or if if you're someone who gets things out or processes things like by physical activity or being out, and winter might not be the best time for that, but it is a great time for creating things. And so I just drew from my animal deck, and I got the rabbit. Your creativity is at a peak. It says fertility, but I'm feeling like it's fertility of like creative ideas. Fertility like birthing of creations, not babies. I mean, unless maybe, but but I again, whenever I get the same card from more than one deck, it tells me that it's more of an important message. So I think that it would be really a great idea for you to start making some things, or even if it's just taking photos, or I'm seeing like a scrapbook, maybe. I'm kind of like seeing pages turning, maybe even if it's just reading a book, or is that a sketchbook? I'm feeling like just doing some, it doesn't have to be anything grand or huge, maybe just doodling or getting some, because when we do that, regardless of if we're conscious of it or not, something from inside of us is brought into the outside. Like, even if it's just a doodle and you close the book and you never look at it again, it still was in and now it's out. So it's not for nothing. Even if nobody ever sees it but you, it is not for nothing, because that the whole point in this case, I feel like, is to bring some of the stuff that's in there out. So when there's things that are out, there's room for new things to come in, and then it gets the cycle moving. When you might not be able to move around physically. I'm feeling like cold weather and like maybe like a restriction of movement, but like you don't have to have a restriction of energy just because it's, freezing out or whatever. I don't know if that's exactly winter, but I feel like maybe like not a time when your physical movements might not be as much, but you can create just as much movement or more with your creativity and birthing, just getting whatever it is inside onto a piece of paper, or even just spoken out loud, because that's getting something from inside out. A lot of times I feel better just saying things, and I'll be stuck in a moment and I don't know how to get through it, but just talking about it, saying I'm stuck in a moment gets the energy moving, and then eventually you're not stuck in the moment anymore. So I think creativity is your key to moving through all that, and confidence with it. It's gonna I'm not thinking of my words. Oh my God. It's gonna ignite or further along a lot of healing that I feel like is happening, will happen around your creations. And that sword, I mean, my goodness. I just feel like that sword could cut through anything. So I feel like you're fully equipped. And I hope that makes some sort of sense.
I love that one for Amanda. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful reading. And she said, thank you. Creating, spinning my own web, and learning the new me for sure. The next chapter. And she said, beautiful. Thank you. Yes. And And I wanted to say hi to Merck. Glad you're here. And Audra said we need fun things, fun stuff like that over here in Indiana. Talking, I think, about our fun witchy night tonight over at Sage Lady Shop. We're going to be at the Sage Lady Shop from 6 to 8 over in Mays Landing at Zen Landing Yoga and Wellness. $20 readings, and the Sage Lady Shop will be open for shopping, and you get 25% off anything there. So come see us. Kelly said, Jess, your makeup is super cute. It definitely is adorable. And welcome, Sophia. Sophia said, hey, oh my God, Jess and Urs, I got the Diane Cooper Dragon deck. They're so loud and present. It's amazing. Can't wait for the 7th. So yes, if you're just tuning on, we have harness your, there it is, harness your personal dragon. Is that what it's called? Harness your inner dragon?
Power of your dragons.
Oh,
Harnessing the power of your dragons.
harnessing the power of your dragons class. 11/7 at 7, and it's going to be awesome. Jesse and Ursula will be leading that, and so if you connect with dragons or you want to, that's your chance. Hop on in. So we have a couple more people on our reading list. I'm going to read for Kelly, then Ursula is going to read for Audra, and if anyone else would like a card, now is your chance to make a comment and let us know, and I'll put you on the list. So I'm going to go up to Kelly's comment real quick. So glad you're all here. Happy Halloween. This is great. And thank you all for the comments. We had fun doing a little something for y'all, dressing up a tiny bit. So I am. All right. Kelly, feeling drawn to you. For Kelly, I'm doing an angel, a rose. I'm going to stop kicking my desk, and a goddess. So for the angels, you've got take a step back. Thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what's not serving me. They're giving me the impression that this is a big permission card. Woo! And my throat chakra just cleared. Woo! Big permission card. Speak your truth. Step back from whatever it is that's not serving you. That can be as simple as staying up too late, scrolling on your phone, or releasing a job or a relationship or a friendship or something that's not feeling quite right. This is a big permission card for you to take a big old breath, take a step back, to slow it down, and to get clear on some things. You have a lot of permission to do that. You then get the rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, and sweetness of life. Roses grow thorns in order to protect the rose. It doesn't diminish the beauty. It doesn't take away from it. It protects it. It keeps it there. There are a few roses that grow without thorns, and they're beautiful and amazing. And you're at a point where you can trust that. You can trust yourself. You can trust your boundaries are strong enough. And you can also trust to just let your guard down a little bit, to step on back and to create that peace and that sweetness in your life at this time. It's going to serve you a lot. So as much as you can step into peace and know you have the right to do that, give yourself permission. Then last but not least, I don't know what you're up to, sister, but you're getting some strong messages here. Free spirit. So they really want you to create this ease, this freeness, to take that step back, to breathe really deeply, to create sweetness, to know that your boundaries are strong enough to protect you, but you can also let your guard down with some things. And I just hear just like letting it go. So big theme on the other side of this big old full moon eclipse on Halloween here is a big old release and to let yourself be free. So you have permission, take a step back, jump into your joy, enjoy the sweetness, and allow yourself to be free. I hope that supports you today, sister. All right.
I love that for you, Kel.
She did.
Love you.
She said, yep, leaning into trust and looking to get my biz back on track with what I want. Yep. Perfect. Take that step back and then look on the outside. And she said, yes, 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 releasing control. When you take a step back and you zoom from the outside and you start to do things based on what you're really wanting to do because it's passion and fire and excitement, everything lines right up. So release the control, allow yourself to dance and co-create with the universe right now and see what's in store for you. And when we're releasing control, sometimes it's nice to take more control of the things that serve us. Like, oh, let me make sure I drink enough water today. Let me make sure I get my sleep today. Let me make sure I'm doing the things so that when I'm at the opportunity, at the moment when it presents me, I feel full, I feel alive, I feel ready for that. So I hope that that supports you. Big, big love. All right. So you are welcome. Next up is Ursula for Audra.
Awesome. So Audra, the two cards for you today, the two messages are the Pure White Dragon from Orion. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. So another very powerful dragon coming to say hello today with beautiful messages of connection to source and working on our intuition and our higher faculties. And this is cool too, because this time of the year is when we can see Orion in the sky at night up here in the Northern Hemisphere. So that could be an invitation to be doing a little more stargazing. If you can see the stars where you live, then maybe tune in a little bit more to that constellation and see what messages come through for you. I think one of the best ways to connect with the sky is visually, because as soon as we do that, we're getting that light. We're just kind of bathing ourselves in that light that's coming from the stars and the planets and everything. So this could be a cool way to process the information that's on this card and whatever this message means for you, and to connect with this dragon. And then the Sacred Rebels card that came out for you is number 39, Free from Judgment, Free to Love. And we've got the green cards in this deck coming out today, which I think is really interesting. The one thing that was consistent with both eclipses that we just had, the solar on the 14th in Libra and the lunar that we just had on Saturday in Taurus, was that they were in the two signs ruled by the planet Venus. And Venus relates to our heart chakra, our relationship to everything that we love and value in our lives. But the placement of Venus for these two eclipses was in a more challenging space for Venus in the sign of Virgo, which can be judgmental. It can be kind of more in our headspace and overly analytical, and tendencies toward perfectionism and idealism, especially in our relationships. So pay attention to what came through for you this eclipse season in particular, relating to judgment. And I think that this message is kind of dual for you: judgment from others, but also judgment from yourself. And just remember that this is your path, this is your story, and the only validation you ever need is the validation from yourself. And who cares what other people think? So I think that this is a big part of your healing journey as well, in your heart space, but on your path and with your purpose as well. So those are the two messages that came through for you, Audra.
How beautiful.
Guilty of that.
Aw.
Yeah.
Guilty of that, right? We all are. We all do our best each and every day. That's what Earth School is all about. We're so glad you all joined us today. I think that's the end of our reading list, unless I missed someone.
Kara wanted one.
Oh, Kara did? Awesome. So then let's see. Lexi is up for Kara.
I'm trick-or-treating right now for Kara.
What you got in your card, Stu?
Ooh, Surrender to the Divine, Full Moon, and Restoration. Ooh, I'm going to so butcher his name. Can any of you get that?
Irawo?
Araro?
That's his name. Let him go.
Maybe howl at the moon. To the moon in his honor. Girl, make sure. I feel like there's so much validation for you happening right now, because I feel like you're lit up and you really are mastering keeping your cups overflowing and pouring from an overflowing cup versus pouring from a cup that's not staying full. So make sure that you are, that's always a priority. I feel like it is already. I feel like you're getting it. it's making sense. It's getting there. And so you are so divine and magical, and every little bit of work that you do on yourself is rippling out and having the effect on others around you. And I think you're really starting to see that. You're starting to see kind of that reward within the work, right? Getting those gifts within the lessons, those blessings within the lessons. They're starting to come around. So I want to pull another card for you though. Ooh, I love this. So I pulled, I wanted to pull an herbal astrology one for you too. And it is 53 Dandelion, the wounded healer. You know, you've taken your wounds and you turn into this healer for so many, and while honoring those wounds. And so those of that are gone, you know, the work that you're doing, honoring those that have already gone and being a vital channel for connection is beautiful. And I really feel more so today's reading for you is an acknowledgement from the ancestors, from your guides, saying what a great job you're doing, that they're sending those, they're sending the love, they're sending light, you're standing in your light more and more. Look at the, I just love the theme between these three cards, the colors, kind of the story they tell. So you're doing amazing, and they are there for you. They're just cheering you on, so proud. You're maintaining balance. You're keeping those cups flowing, keeping love flowing into your cups and showing others how to do it. And by you doing that for yourself is teaching others how to do it for themselves. So keep it up. And you are so the wounded healer. You've healed your wounds, and you teach others how to heal theirs and how to live, not as always wounded, right? But from this space of healed. So keep up the great work, beautiful. I love you. You're so
Sarah said happy tears. She said happy tears. You were spot on. I love dandelions. Thank you. Purple hearts. Oh, beautiful. All right. So we have, let's see. Next up is going to be Andrea for Jess. And then Marianne, welcome. You are going to be our last card of the day. So Andrea or Jess for Andrea.
Okay. Okay. So I first pulled out of my card soup I got from my General Angels deck, covered in purple. So this is all wrapped up in a healing process. Take a step back, which kind of goes back to what was said for Kelly, right? The zoom out thing. So taking a step back, I feel like this has to do with like evaluating situations. Like a zoom, it's like a perspective thing here, that take a step back. Take a step back and evaluate what's really going on from the perspective of not being emotionally involved. I feel like is important to say. If you can remove your emotions from a situation and zoom out and take a look, you might see, I feel like you will see things that were not visible when you're closer in and when you're emotionally involved. I think that some key information will be gained if you can zoom out, have the perspective of not being emotionally involved in whatever you're asking about. I just drew from the Avalon deck, and I got Birth and Rebirth, and I think that's really tied in together. Because when you can zoom out and actually see what is working and what's not working, then you can start the process of letting the things that are not working fall away, and that's when you become born again, in a sense. Born like anew to your own self, even, is what this kind of feels like. And And this card is it's a picture of being deep in the woods. I mean, there's nothing but woods around, but there's a path there. And it's super sunny at the end of it. So there's I feel like there's a clearing at the end of whatever process this is. I'll pull one more from I'm Drawn to My Ancestors deck. It seems a little bit vague, but I don't think it is. I think it's big, that's why. Oh. So from my Ancestors deck I got Peaceful. And that dove flying up there in the sky. So, okay. All of this is going to lead to your ultimate peace. Letting the things fall away that are not meant to stick. But having the perspective to be able to see that that's the case, I think, is the most important step, because that's the step that's going to get the ball rolling. Because when you're wrapped up emotionally in something, it's hard to see. It's hard to have clarity, let's say. And so I feel like this is basically all situations. It's time for you to reevaluate relationships with people, jobs, romantic and not, family, all of it. And that could seem daunting, but it doesn't really have to be, because the situations will present themselves. The opportunities to do this will present themselves organically to you. And so when you're presented with a situation, like, you don't have to go looking for things to evaluate. They're, every day we deal with shit. So, situations will present themselves to you where it will be very important to take a step back and look at the situation without emotional attachment. And if the advice you would give to somebody else in a situation, if it wasn't you, that's the advice you should take. Because a lot of times when we are the ones in the situation, the advice that we would give anyone else that we care about, somehow we don't even think of it. So take yourself out and say, what would I tell my best friend to do? What would I tell a child to do? What would I tell anyone that I care deeply about? What would be my advice for them? And make that the advice for yourself. And through doing that consistently, and not in like a balls to the wall way, just like every day, the things that come, take a look, make a choice, move on. If you consistently and constantly do this on a day-to-day basis, you will experience an internal rebirth or birth that will essentially lead to your ultimate healing, which I see with all the purple, and your ultimate peace here in the end, as the result of it. And it's just like peaceful flying for the rest, it seems like. And this last card, that's from the deck that usually there's ancestors behind it, like in a mediumship way. So that it would be the last card in the spread is like a reassurance from your spirit team and anyone that you may be looking to for guidance. It's like a confirmation that this is correct. I think that's and I really like this because this is a message that's not like in some like unachievable way, to achieve peace. It's just like slow and steady as a situation arises. Just take a look, step back, breathe, treat yourself like you love yourself, in your decision making. But I feel like removing emotion, zooming out and removing emotion from situations is going to be key for you to reaching your peaceful state that everyone deserves. And it's very attainable. Super, super attainable. So I hope that helps. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, even though it often is. So
beautiful, Jess.
yeah,
Big love, Andrea.
I feel that. I feel like we all, like, that's kind of a universal message, because we're all human beings with relationships everyday stuff going on. So I hope that's helpful.
Happy Halloween, Pete. Glad you hopped on. Glad you're here. Happy Halloween. And our next reading and last reading of the day is for Marianne. And I'm up next, so I'm going to pull for her. Marianne. Got an angel, a rose, and a goddess. Synchronicity. Thank you, angels. I trust your well-timed guidance. If you're waiting for certain information right now, know it's going to be coming. Also know that certain things are going to be revealed to you at certain times. It's just important for you right now to be present, to allow yourself to be grounded, to allow yourself to be of service when you can for others, and just let whatever is going to reveal itself, because it will. And things are working out really nicely for you. You then get Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. So this is a really nice time, especially while you're waiting to see how things are going to shake out and what's going down. This is a really great time to get in tune with your inner artist, with your creative, to let yourself. Being inspired is when we're in spirit. Inspired is in spirit. So it's letting ourselves connect with our higher selves, connect with spirit, connect with things that make us want to create and to tap into that energy. The angels are giggling and they're showing you are creative, and it is one of your medicines. So allow that to be there for you and allow that to support you. You then get, on that note, last but not least, be there for you. You've actually taken a lot of personal accountability lately. You've made a lot of changes. Some things have happened. And this is a time where you get to truly serve yourself and be there for you as much as possible at this time. They're showing it's a really big confirmation. You're still walking that journey. You're still on that journey, but wonderful things are happening for you. So just trust in the subtle energies right now. Know that messages are coming. Know that there's a lot of synchronistic things coming in at this time. And if you can drop into your creativity, it's really going to serve you, especially while being there to support yourself. So big, big love. I'm glad you joined us, Marianne, and I'm so happy everybody joined us on this beautiful Halloween. And please give us a like, a share, a follow. Check out you're so welcome. She said, cool reading. Have a great day. You are so welcome, sister. Please check us out. We got Dragon Class coming up. We have our beautiful Soul Garden membership. We have all kinds of ways that you can connect with us in person or online. Our Shadow Twerk has been twerking it out, and we'd love to connect more. So big love. Happy Halloween. Enjoy yourselves and have a great day. Bye-bye.